Hey, what's up? My name is Samuel Leeds. I'm a property investor and this is Q&A Sunday. Here's what's gonna happen. I did a video last week, a property video, and got loads of amazing questions. So I'm gonna be answering all of your property related niggling, burning questions. Here's the cool part though. If you comment your questions below, next week at 7 p.m. on Sunday, I'm gonna do a new video where I'm gonna be answering all of the questions, as many as I can, from the comments in this video. So let's see what we got from last week. Some great questions. Ben Verjet. Question. Once you get money from an angel investor, how do you manage to find the money to repay them with interest on top? Say you get 50 grand from angels over 4 years and you invest that amount in 25% ROI deals. Yes, you'd have the money after 4 years, but it means never touching it and doesn't even cover their interest on top. Listen, if you borrow 20 grand from an investor and then you put that 20 grand to work and you say to the investor, I'll pay you back in 5 years, and every year I'll pay you 10% on your money. Here's what you do. Pay them the 10%, of course, out of the cash flow, of course. How do you pay them at the end of the 5 years, the 20 grand? There's a few different options. You could, if you want to be really safe, you could, all of the profit from the deal, you could put aside, all of it, and save it up to pay them back. And that way you're not going to make a penny for 5 years, but at least you're going to know, I'll be able to pay them back. Or you could refinance the house after 5 years, or you could get the money from other sources. So there's not one answer, but you just need to make sure that the property deal is profitable enough in itself to be able to pay them back. So that's my answer. Hope that helps. Hi Samuel, this is IC16. Hi Samuel, can you help me? I want to get a development fund for a meaty project, but the seller won't agree to a conditional offer whilst the planning goes through. Are there any other options, please? If you're buying a piece of land or you're wanting to do a development project, and the seller, you're wanting to say, I want to get the planning first before it sounds to me like the seller has a feeling that the planning will not come through, potentially. So if they won't agree to a conditional offer subject to planning, I wouldn't buy it. I would find another piece of land, or I'd say, okay then, in that case, I'll pay a price that is reflective to there being no planning permission, which is probably going to be like 1/10 of what you're offering right now. So which one's it going to be? I can pay you this amount, which is what you want, that is going to be subject to planning, or I can pay you this amount, which is assuming that I won't be able to get planning. Or I can give you a small deposit and then I'll get the planning and I'll pay you the rest when I've got the planning. And if the planning doesn't come through, you keep the deposit, but obviously don't put down like tens and tens of thousands, just maybe 10 grand. Or I won't pay you anything now and I'll do the project and I'll give you a slice of the profit plus the money for the land. Like, there's so many options when you're doing development. It's just a case of working with the seller. But if the seller's being really difficult and you can't make the figures stack, you may have to walk away. When you're doing deals, the best advice I'll give you is always be prepared to walk. Okay, what else we got? Hi Samuel, always looking forward to your videos. Thank you, my friend. I've saved 20 grand cash over a long period of time. It is long. It takes a long time for most people to save 20 grand, so well done. After a lot of convincing from your videos, I'm prepared to invest it into property. Currently, I'm a stay-at-home mom and recently started educating myself on property and plan to attend a few free courses. What strategy would you suggest I use it to invest this money wisely and to get a quick return cash flow? Thanks for the advice. Listen, you've got a few different options. You could invest the 20 grand on one little property, like a single let house. It's gonna give you a little income, awesome whoopie-doo. If you're gonna do that, the problem is it's only gonna give you a small income and then you're gonna have to wait ages to get another 20 grand. So you either invest the 20 grand, document it, and have it as a case study. And then the next 20 grand, don't work so hard, raise the money. And then you can say, look, this is what I did here. I wanna do it again, but I want you to put the money in. We'll go 50-50 on the profits. Like, it's all, listen, most people work so hard to save money and then they then build up their property portfolio so slowly. I mean, what I did, when I was starting out, I didn't have quite 20, it was less, but I put it into my education. And you might think, oh, what? Invest 20 grand into my education, but I could buy a house with that. But you are a better investment than the houses. And if you invest it into property, it's a slow game. Whereas you invest it into education, suddenly you'll be able to get that 20 grand fast. So there's different options, but what I'll say is good for you. And I think you're on the right track. Just make sure if you do invest that 20 grand into a small single let house, document it, because you're not going to want to work hard to get another 20 grand. You need to do something different. Otherwise, it'll be forever before you're financially free. You want to do it in 12 months. Okay, reality escape. Hi, Samuel. How do I learn more about the paperwork and regulations for the property sector? Okay, we wrote a book on this. If you go onto Amazon and search Samuel Leeds, it's a book and it's Compliance Made Easy. Check out the book. DR Cam. Hi, Samuel. Another great video. Thank you. I've just secured another property deal after your crash course. Boom! Well done. That's what happens when you come to the crash course, man. You just start getting deals. And this time, it's a city centre studio apartment. And I'm getting a lot of interest from potential tenants who are on housing benefits. Although I don't discriminate and would like to help these people. Is it a smart move from a business point of view? What are the positives and negatives? Many thanks in advance. Okay, listen, benefit tenants are not bad tenants necessarily. However, you've got to be true to what the business plan is. So I don't buy properties usually with benefit tenants in mind. Sometimes I do. I have bought properties solely for that purpose. But if you've bought these city centre apartments, or you've got these studios, and the plan is professional tenants, and it's not discriminating, it's just that that's your business market. So in the same way that if you got a HMO, there was a professional HMO, and then you had students that wanted to move in, you could say, look, this is not a student household. This is a professional house share. So it's not discriminating, and legally and ethically, I don't think that you've got anything to worry about at all, because that's the business strategy, that's your market. But it's great to see and hear that you've got a heart to help, help people that maybe are struggling. What I would probably suggest is make a lot of money, as much as you can, true to your business strategy, and then put a percentage of the profits, put a percentage towards, helping the homeless or giving back. And that way, you've got your business, which is making money and helping people because you're giving accommodation. And then, because if you feel sorry for people, you think, oh, go on, and you move someone in, and then it's like, you might end up not making money, and then you can't help anybody. So I would say, be true to your vision of being a professional. And if you want professional tenants, have professional tenants. Sometimes I've had situations where I've had a professional tenant that then loses their job, and then they suddenly need to become a benefit tenant. And I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna kick you out now. You want to be gracious, but be true to your market and do what you need to do to make money. That's what I would say. Good job though, man. I think you're a great person, and I hope to meet you as well. And if you're buying all these properties after the crash course, you should come on Winners Wednesday. Drop us a message. Go to winnersonawednesday.com, fill out a form. I'd love to get to meet you. Okay, Lewis Clark. I know Lewis Clark, something on 15. You are the dude who saved up 10 grand from paper rounds. I remember you from a previous video. I'm 15 and I'm starting to learn about investing money. Good. What are the pros and cons of property investment compared to stock market investing? I can't decide which one's better. Listen, stock is okay. If you do it properly, the stock market's fine. But the thing I like about property is it's bricks and mortar. It's bricks and mortar, and you get paid rent. So it's not just a case of I buy a stock and I hope for it to go up. And you can leverage your money. If you're investing in the stock market, you can't get a mortgage on stocks. So if you've got 20 grand, you can buy 20 grand's worth of stocks. Whereas if you're doing property, you've got 20 grand, you might be able to get 80 grand or 100 grand house with it, because it's leverage. So you're gonna make more money in property if you do it right. That's my opinion. But then I'm a property guy. So I would stick with property if I should. All right, last one. Ryan Anderson. As a biblical economist, do you believe lease option agreements are equitable? Okay, I think what he's trying to say is, as a Christian, are lease option agreements fair? Are they ethical? I think that's your point, because I studied biblical economics at Bible College. Yeah, completely. When I'm talking to sellers and I'm offering lease option agreements, that's always the last option. Firstly, I'll always give them an offer. I'll advise them as if they're a family member. I'll tell them to hold on and rent it out themselves. But if they're stuck and they've got no money and they want rid of the property, then a lease option agreement is a good solution for some people. Of course, it's good for me as the buyer, but sometimes it is a very good solution. And also, I never do lease option agreements without having the seller represented by a solicitor, and the solicitor's job is always to make sure that it's fair. Because if it's not, if you screw someone over and then it ends up going to court, the judge is going to look and he's going to be like, oof, this person was taken advantage of. So if you do it fair and you have a solicitor that represents the seller right from the beginning, it protects you. It means you can sleep at night. You don't need to be unethical to make a lot of money, okay? To make a lot of money, you need to add a lot of value and you need to help a lot of people. Money follows value. So yeah, I think they're completely ethical, and I'd very happily talk to any of my sellers that I've done a lease option agreement with. I'd very happily have them in the studio, talk to them about the situation, because I hand on heart think that I'm helping sellers And that's how I run my business. Hope you found that video useful. I hope you learned a lot. Don't forget to comment your questions below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, smash the like button, show some support, and subscribe, turn the notification bells on. If you want to come to the Property Investors Crash Course, which is a 2-day property program, it's very good. It's a very good program, and you're going to have your mind blown, and so many doors are going to open for you at the crash course. You can get your free ticket on the house. There's a £1 booking fee. You can get your free ticket right over here. Don't forget to subscribe as well over here. Thanks so much. Book on the crash course, subscribe. I'll see you next time.